Hi, good morning everyone, or well, good afternoon. So we flew over to Philadelphia this morning to see the Disney 100 exhibition over at the Franklin Institute. Yeah, Philly is actually not too far from Orlando, about 2 hours by plane. It's actually a pretty warm day here in Philadelphia. It said it was going to be rainy and kind of cold, but definitely right now it is very warm. Yeah, so we're gonna head inside in just a minute. Alright, so we just got our tickets, $45 to see the General Museum as well as the Disney 100 exhibition. Yeah, just the museum would have costed $25, but it seems with the Disney added on, it's a lot more expensive. Yeah, so we're starting here in the Franklin Air Show area of the Franklin Institute. Yeah, it looks like in this room they have a bunch of different concepts of old planes. There's a really big model of the plane there. And in the other room you can see one of the other old planes, and this one looks kind of similar to what we know and love nowadays. Yeah, there's not too busy, but there are a lot of little kids in here. There's a lot of things in this room for little kids to play around with. Next to the air show one is the electricity museum, or electricity exhibitions. Very colorful neon lights coming into this room. So from what I'm seeing, the Franklin Institute has a lot of things for kids to try. It's kind of like the Exploratorium over in San Francisco, if you guys have been over there. A lot of science-y things and a lot of explanations for little kids to learn about different concepts of science and physics. In the next room we have a very large and pretty accurate replica of a heart and all the valves and how it works. You can actually go inside and take a look in there. So this next room looks like it explains the human body in a fun way for kids to understand.
This is fat, and you can tell because it's very squishy. But this is tough. It's much tougher.
This tube here is pretty neat. It shows what the inside of all your blood cells look like. A bunch of red blood cells mixed with some white blood cells. Very unique room for sure. All decorated with various workings of the heart and your blood cells. Oh, this looks pretty promising. The pendulum staircase. So it seems all these keys represent the lifetime commitments of the individuals and organizations listed among the keys that have helped parents and teachers and children with education. So I guess these keys with names represent maybe some donations that these people or organizations have given to the Franklin Institute over the years. And down here at the bottom of the staircase is that pendulum. So a little cool thing about this pendulum here. So it looks like the pendulum, it says at 9:30 the museum pendulum starts swinging, and every 20 to 25 minutes it will knock down a peg and change direction. And by 5 p.m. at the end of the workday here, half the pegs have already been knocked down. So it's like spinning of the direction of the earth. The pendulum swings and knocks down pegs as the whole day goes on. Kind of like in a 24-hour clock. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. Yeah, so let's check out the rest of the museum. In this room, we got some various models of telescopes. Very huge, very huge models. And next, we're gonna take a look at the space room. Yeah, so do you guys like stars, and do you guys like some of the astrological signs? We can see them here: Gemini, Cancer. On this place, on this side, Taurus is also here. So yeah, all the star signs we know and love are all here on this globe. These are the various stars that we see in the night sky. So once we exited the space room, we actually had the Franklin Theater over here where you can see some of the shows throughout the day. But right now it is closed, so no shows at the moment. Yeah, up here is something really cool. I love seeing all the different time zones. Tokyo, Sydney, New Zealand, Hawaii. They all show different times. This is also the planetarium area coming up. All right, here we are at the train factory. Unfortunately, the planetarium was closed when we went there, so maybe later. Seems the planetarium is only open during show times, so it's a theater. So we got a bunch of different old trains in this room. Very different than the trains that we see nowadays. Alright, time to enter the Disney 100 exposition. Yay, the thing we flew all the way to Philly for. So upon entering the Disney 100 exhibition, you are greeted by a little short presentation where you will listen to Mickey and Walt describe a few things. It's actually very hard, unfortunately, to see the presentation as there are a lot of people here in this room right now. But I'm definitely very excited to see what the rest of the rooms will bring.
And when we go into that new project, we believe in it.
So this first room is called Where It All Began. And as you might expect, in this room is where you will see the first ever cartoons created by Walt Disney, Alice's Fishy Story, which actually I've only heard very little about. I don't actually know much about it at all. And you'll also see some of his early history and how he started becoming a Disney animator and his career and where he's from. So there's a lot of history about Walt here. And then there's also, of course, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which is one of Walt's first successful cartoons before Mickey Mouse was created. And of course, after Oswald is Mickey Mouse and the first cartoon, which is Steamboat Willie. So you can learn all about the history, and you can see some of the cartoons that he made in this room. I really like this room. It's really neat. I especially love this one right here called Mickey's Pals. It tells you the history of when all the famous main characters were created, like Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. tells you what year they were created and in what cartoon they first appeared. I actually never knew a lot of this before. Yeah, so this over here is especially cool. I really like here there's a timeline of the various decades of achievements that Walt Disney made and the company itself made even after his death. A lot of cool things on here. Yeah, it goes all the way up to the 2020s, to the most recent things like Encanto and Mandalorian and Avengers. So as you guys saw, the first room was about Walt Disney and the first cartoons he ever made. Here it's called Where Did the Stories Come From? So it seems like in this room we're going to be looking at some concept ideas. First one here is the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs concept ideas, the first drawings they ever did. So if you guys ever saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, maybe when you're little, if you guys remember, the movie always opens with Once Upon a Time and the opening of the storybook. So here's Snow White and Seven Dwarfs storybook prop. So far, this room is really cool. I really like this one. Here are the Pinocchio props. Over there is the Pinocchio puppet. Here we have Sleeping Beauty. In the exhibit, so Sleeping Beauty also has the prop storybook here. Very, very full of jewels, just like when you watch the movie. So this is pretty cool. As you turn the pages of the book, it changes on the screen. Yeah, so here we have the first page of the book. This is neat. Next one we have here is Cinderella. So this one, instead of the book, it has Cinderella's glass slipper. It is very see-through, definitely like glass, very pretty. So the middle of the room, all these different pillars that we see here all represent Walt's sources of inspiration, such as mythologies, fairy tales, comic books, and literature. So you guys can see here we have in the bookcase Grimm's Fairy Tales, The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood, and many other assorted books that gave him inspiration for his Disney movies. Here we have Alice in Wonderland concept art. Very colorful. And then Mary Poppins. Here we have the Mary Poppins horse. Also in this room we have the Winnie the Pooh concept arts. This Winnie the Pooh actually came from the live action Christopher Robin movie that came out in 2018. It's definitely different than what I was expecting to find in here. We also have Beauty and the Beast in this room. It does look like this Cogsworth and Lumiere came from the live action as well. Yes, it's from 2017. So it seems that this room blends the kind of recent props with the old props. Well, that's unique. We also have some more recent movies, Princess and the Frog, Frozen is over here, and Tangled, and The Incredibles. You can see how tall you are in relation to the Incredibles family. This next room is called The Illusion of Life. And so this room is a bit smaller, a lot smaller than the other rooms, but there is a prop from Little Mermaid here, one of the costumes. Here's a funny Olaf toy puppet from Frozen, the Broadway musical. So if you guys have ever seen that, you've probably seen the Olaf puppet. Oh, this is the dress from Cruella, the movie. This is the dress that she wears. Bunch of the designs for it. So in the room we have an interactive board, so each dial represents a character. Like here we have Genie, and as you spin the dial, it says some fun facts about him. There's a bunch of different characters here as well to choose from.
Yes, we did. We Simba and Nala, we had matching sleeping bags for the.
Okay, this next room is called the Spirit of Adventure and Discovery. So there's definitely a lot of good theming in here. Yeah, this looks like maybe Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, this is Pirates of the Caribbean, Barbossa. So if you guys have seen any of those movies, you'll probably recognize that outfit. There's also a lot of Moana concept art here, a lot of boats. Here you can play with some of the various concept arts of the water-based movies. Here's a replica of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's very big. Here on this wall is the Jungle Cruise. Some of the first concept arts for the ride. So if you guys have ridden this ride at all, you would recognize some of these things. Like here is the attraction vehicle model. Here we have more concept art. Here we have some new things. Star Wars. Very attractive looking room. Stormtroopers and various helmets and masks from the Marvel movies are here as well. Captain America's shield is here. Alright, our next room, one of the rooms I was really looking forward to after going to the D23 Expo, the Magic of Sound and Music room. Here we have the dress from the first Enchanted movie. And in this room we have a lot of the music sheets of the various songs that we all know and love. A very old vintage record. Some more concept arts. Something cool in the music room, you can experience listening to the same song in many different languages. Here we have Let It Go from Frozen in all the different languages of the world. There's a headset you can wear and sit down and you can hear it in every single language. It is definitely very unique for sure. Oh, this is a cool end to the music room. All the different cover album arts of the various CDs and records of Disney music is here. And yeah, so as you guys can see here, throughout the music room, they actually have these headphones for you. So you can actually listen to whatever you want without having to bother anyone else. And you can hear it very clearly. They're pretty much like noise canceling headphones. They're actually really good. So yeah, there's a lot of things to choose from to listen to. The next exhibit is The World Around Us. This one looks like a kind of a tribute to some of the animal type movies that Disney has made over the years. There's a bunch of concept art of various things. Bambi concept art before it became a cartoon. A lot of Bambi here. As well as Fox and the Hound, Pocahontas. More recent things, the concept art for Pandora over at Animal Kingdom. The Tree of Life, as well as Disneyland's Frontierland and New Orleans Square. Here we have the Innoventions room next. So Innoventions, we actually had a huge room in Tomorrowland dedicated to Innoventions at Disneyland a while back, but it has long since been closed and replaced by Star Wars meet and greet characters. Yeah, it seems they brought back some of the stuff in this room. Alright, the next room, your Disney World. Okay. So this room seems to be dedicated to the various Disney parks around the world. There's artwork from Disneyland. There's a whole colored map of Disneyland as well. And a lot of attraction ride vehicles. Matterhorn bobsleds are there, as well as the Peter Pan ride. So advertised at D23 Expo, there would be a room dedicated to all the various theme parks around the world. So you can technically be at all the Disney theme parks around the world without actually leaving the Franklin Institute. So yeah, let's take a look what we got. It looks like you can learn about the resort. Mostly just a lot of information. Yeah, not really what not really what I was thinking it would be when we learned about this at D23 Expo. But it is cute. You do get to see a little bit about each park around the world. After that room is the Wonder of Disney room. And here we have our giant Goofy welcoming you to Philadelphia and the Disney 100 Museum at the Franklin Institute. Here we also have another decades timeline, but this one is a lot more in color, a lot of different achievements that were made during that specific decade, like comic books made, as well as concept arts and TV shows. Alright, Alright, so I think we might have reached the end of the exhibition now because this one is called We Are Just Getting Started. And this one showcases the more recent things that Disney is making, like Elemental, which is to come out later this month, as well as Captain Marvel. And also, here's the Disney 100 store where you can buy merchandise. Alright, so we just finished going to the Franklin Institute and the Disney 100 exhibition. Honestly, I really liked the Disney 100 exhibition. It was pretty cool. But I don't think $45 is worth it to visit the Franklin Institute and the Disney 100. The Franklin Institute was really small. Like, the actual museum itself was really small. And it was kind of like just for little kids to kind of play around and learn about some science things. So not really worth the $25 that they're offering for just the museum. So definitely I recommend, if you guys want to see the Disney 100, it would be better to go on a day that they have the evening hours for the Disney 100. That way you can just pay for the Disney 100 exhibition rather than paying for both the Franklin Institute and the Disney 100, which is $45. It was pretty expensive, but definitely well worth the Disney 100 exhibition. Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.